Oh my gosh. Hello, you guys. Welcome to the first ever episode of my new podcast, Things Could Be Worse. If you're coming from a YouTube channel, which most of you probably are, I would assume you may know that I've wanted to start a podcast for literally the longest time. I have been talking about it for years. I don't know why I've been so obsessed with the idea of having a podcast. I think it's because I enjoy listening to other people's podcasts so much, but I've wanted to start a podcast for so long, and here we are. It's finally the day. I am literally tweaking. Sorry if I sound crazy in this episode, but I am just feeling so many emotions right now. And in all honesty, this is my first time ever doing something like this. And I thought going into this that starting a podcast would be so similar to just filming a YouTube video. No. It is completely different. It's a completely different world, different softwares, different editing. I literally have no idea what any of this audio thing means, so just bear with me. Anyways, with that being said, I don't really have a set direction where I want this podcast to go, to be honest. I want to leave it very open for growth and change right from the start, just because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing, and I can't wait to just go on this journey and learn so many new things. But I'll be discussing hundreds of different topics, from my own stupid mistakes to the lessons I've learned from those stupid mistakes to story times, never heard before story times. There is a few story times that you guys have been waiting for since I was in 8th grade, and I finally have a place to share them. So I'm so excited. Basically, I just made this to give you guys a little escape from whatever's going on in your life. You guys can tune in once a week and just hear me talk stupid for the most part, just to entertain you. Maybe you can take some of my advice. I'm definitely not a professional, so I would take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I'm just excited, okay? Oh my God, I'm literally so sorry. That felt like it was gonna be a little burp, and that was monstrous. Okay, so right off the bat, I really hope that the visual listeners cannot see my feet right now. Speaking of, if you're listening to this visual, or if you're listening to this audio only, sorry guys, this is gonna take some getting used to. If you're listening to this audio only, I am currently sitting in my studio that I have been working on for months. I am so happy with the way that it's turned out. My throat is already dry from talking. This is going to be interesting. But yeah, I made an entire studio with the help of my older brother, Noah. He has been an absolute gem during this. He literally painted the whole room. If you guys are listening to this or watching this on the first day that it drops, I actually just released a YouTube video on my main channel of the entire studio makeover process, and I think it turned out really cute. So if you want to see what the whole studio looks like and you want to see the process behind it, then go over to my YouTube channel, baileydedrick, and watch it. But I wanted to say, if you guys are listening to this audio only, either on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I encourage you to just go over to the Things Could Be Worse YouTube channel, or the Instagram, and watch clips, or just I want you to see the studio because I'm so proud of it. I love my little setup that I have. I feel just it's so cute. It turned out literally exactly how I imagined it in my head. We may add or remove or change a few things along the way, but right now I'm very happy with where it's at. This first episode is definitely going to be a little bit different than the other ones, I would assume, just because I don't really have a set theme or things to talk about on this, just besides the fact that I want to talk about, why I decided to make this podcast, why I'm excited for it, where I hope it's going to take me, and then also kind of just talk about who I am and how I got to this point in my life, because I feel like maybe a lot of people know that, but maybe a lot of people listening don't know that. I really have no idea. You know what I mean? I hope my posture looks all right. So like I said, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm kind of just winging it at this point. I wrote up a little script here, and I have some topics that I want to talk about, and I want to dive in now, why I decided to make a podcast, because I've said so many times that I've wanted to make a podcast for so long, but I haven't really gone into why. So obviously, I love podcasts, and I've always thought that they were very interesting. I've been listening and watching podcasts on YouTube for probably 3-4 years now. I really only listen to podcasts from my old favorite YouTubers. YouTubers I watched when I was 12 years old. They have podcasts now, and I watch them constantly. I love the Jeff FM podcast. I love Unfiltered with Zane and Heath. I love Wild Till 9, Lord DIY's podcast. I love What else do I listen to? The Stiff Socks podcast is really funny. I don't know why I can't think of any other ones. The Pretty Basic podcast with Alicia Marie and Remy Cruz, that's a great one. I don't know, but moral of the story is I love listening to podcasts, and I think they're so fun. And although I feel like short form content is very in now, like everybody just wants a quick fix of entertainment, whether that comes from TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube shorts. Like, I don't know what people are watching these days, but I know that people's interest is kind of leaning away from YouTube videos and just like the classic YouTube video format, which is very sad for me because I still love making YouTube videos and I will never stop. But there's definitely been a little bit less interest in the last couple of years. But with that being said, yes, short form content is what everybody is watching right now. But then I feel like there's another side of things where people love podcasts and people love sitting down, cleaning their room while turning a podcast on, driving to school or work with a podcast on, literally doing anything with a podcast on, eating with a podcast on. Podcasts just pass the time and you don't have to be as attentive to it as a YouTube video, so you can just like play it in the background. So that's why I kind of love podcasts, and I thought it would be interesting to make my own. And then also going with that, I am a huge talker. I might not seem like it in real life. Like if you meet me in real life, you're probably gonna be like, this girl literally never talks. And it's because I'm a little bit like socially anxious now, and I don't know, I deal with like a lot of shyness that I used to not deal with. I don't know what happened. I think it was COVID. It probably was. Everything is COVID's fault. I have a hard time talking to other people, but when it comes to me sitting alone in my room, talking to my camera or talking into this microphone, I could talk forever. And YouTube really isn't the best place to talk just because YouTube videos, you know, my YouTube videos are around like 13 minutes. That's like the average standard video length for me. So if you think about it, 13 minutes is not a very long time. And I cannot just sit there and talk for 13 minutes because nobody's going to care. You know what I mean? I talk in like very short increments in my YouTube videos, and there's like a lot of jump cuts, and I don't really get to have sit down conversations with you guys unless that's the specific video that I'm trying to film. But like, I just needed an outlet to talk to you guys because I feel like there's so much that happens in my life that I don't get to share with you guys because I don't record it. And then I don't have a place to talk about it, if that makes sense. So I thought a podcast would be a perfect place to do so. I want to like sit crisscross, but like, I do not want any free feet here. I don't know. What is the next reason? So the next reason is I have always done advice YouTube videos, whether that be girl talk, whether that be like answering questions about like relationships or friendships, high school advice, middle school advice, going all the way to the start of my YouTube channel. I have always done advice videos, and they have always performed exceedingly well, better than my like regular day in the life YouTube videos, if that makes sense. So I thought, since y'all love hearing my advice, then I should just come on to a long form platform and share my advice constantly. And if you don't want my advice, then don't take it, because I don't even know. People say I'm so good at giving advice, but I literally don't know how, because I do not have a single thought in my brain. Like, words just come out of my mouth. When somebody asks me a question, I just start forming words just in my mouth. Like, it doesn't go through my brain first. Somebody could be like, give me advice on, you know, a guy who, like, I don't even know. Like, I can't give you an example right now. But like, I will hear a question and I will just spit out some amazing advice without even thinking about it. Like, I think that's one of my like hidden talents. I can just give really good advice out of nowhere. Oh, okay. So this is funny. This is really funny. So the final reason I have here of why I decided to make a podcast is because for the last 2 years, I have been documenting literally every moment of my life in my voice memos app on my iPhone, like literally constantly. I want to go to my first voice memo from like when I decided to start keeping voice memos, and I want to play a little bit of it for you because I promise you this is probably going to be funny. Okay, fake first podcast. Oh my God. This is from December 2021. That's crazy. Okay, listen.
Okay, guys, so this is me attempting to make a podcast.
Ew, why am I talking like that? First of all, I used to like put on this voice that was not my voice at all. Okay, just let me play it.
This is like a fake first podcast. I literally just ripped out a page of my journal and I'm actually pissed.
Why am I talking like that? Why am I talking like that? I feel like I was trying to sound like, what's her name? Call Her Daddy. Like, she talks with like a very dragged on, I'm not trying to, Alex Cooper, don't come for me. That's her name, right? I feel like she she has a very good podcast voice. That's why she has such a successful podcast. But like, I was just trying to do something that wasn't me. So just ignore how cringy this is.
Bailey, I'm manifesting this for you, even though I am you, and I'm manifesting this for myself. I don't really give a shit about you, to be honest. But you're going to have a podcast by the time you're 18, and you're going to do it sooner than that. Hopefully when you graduate, bitch, a year is all I'm giving you. I want you to do a fucking podcast, okay? Because you're bitch. Why am I swearing so much? You talk way too much, and the thing is, you don't talk enough at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but like around people, you don't get your words out because
Okay, I swear I did not go back and listen to this, but this is literally exactly what I just said. Like how I was feeling and what I was saying 2 years ago is exactly what I just said to you guys. I talk too much. I want a podcast. Basically, moral of the story is I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of voice memos just like that, explaining like different story times, different like rants that I have. Like, I don't even know, but there is so many voice memos. And basically for the last 2 years, I have been secretly recording a podcast in my own voice memos app. So I just felt like I needed to actually be able to put those voice memos somewhere in a way, you know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna move on because you guys probably honestly don't care about anything that I just said. We get it. You made a podcast, girl. Like, let's just get into the podcast. Like, let me listen to the podcast. Stop talking about why you, oh my gosh. Stop talking about why you made the podcast and just start the damn podcast. Okay, we're gonna do it. Also, a little thing about me is I have a lot of voice cracks. I don't know if I'm a 12-year-old boy going through puberty or what. I usually am able to cut out the voice cracks in my YouTube videos because I'm embarrassed, and like if I voice crack, I'll just re-say something. But I feel like a podcast really isn't like that, and I just need to like talk, and if I mess up, like just keep talking. So I'm really gonna try to like, I don't know, it's like a big adjustment, especially like editing, because I just want to like edit out all of like the empty space, the empty noise. But this is just supposed to be a conversation, so I need to work on that. Okay, moving on to topic number 2. I want to talk about who I am and where this all began, you know, YouTube, everything. I haven't really talked about this a whole lot, so we're just going to like wrap up my life story really quickly when it comes to YouTube and social media and everything like that. So I think I started YouTube in like 2015, 2016, which is insane, literally like 7-8 years ago now. I think I was like 10 or 11. I don't even honestly remember how it started or how I got the idea to make YouTube videos. I think I just really enjoyed watching other people on YouTube, and then I was like, oh my god, this would be so fun. And I've always kind of had like a very creative personality, and like I said, I've always been somewhat of a talker. Obviously after my social anxiety started, I became a little bit less of a talker. But moral of the story is, okay, I have a blanket. Maybe I could cover my feet with the blanket. I'm gonna do that. Sorry guys, I'm still getting used to this. Oh, you can see my other foot. Sorry, no free feed. Don't put me on wiki feet. I don't want to be there. Okay, but yeah, basically, I don't even remember how it started. I don't remember filming my first YouTube video ever. Like, I don't even remember it. That's how long ago it was. I know what it is because it's still somewhere floating around on the internet. I think it was a ABC gymnastics challenge with my friend Macy. I don't know why we did that or how we got the idea to make that video and then actually post it to YouTube, but I did. And that's on like a completely different YouTube channel. But then I started my actual YouTube channel that I'm still posting on today. And it started with like a lot of like hair videos and Q&As and stuff like that. But I literally can't even tell you how it started. Like I can't, you know what I mean? Like I've been doing it so long now that it just feels like I've always had it, which is insane. But yeah, I've been doing YouTube for as long as I can remember, and I've always loved it. You know, I've gone in and out of phases where I'm a little bit less motivated than other times, but for the most part, I've stayed pretty consistent on YouTube for the last 7 years, and that is completely and utterly insane. In elementary school, it was definitely a very like cheesy thing. Like I think all my friends just thought it was kind of like a little quirky like phase that I was in, and nobody was really mean to me in elementary school because I mean, it was just elementary school. Like we were all doing stupid things and I was just posting stupid things on the internet, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. But I would say things definitely took a major turn in middle school, and it was honestly a major turn for the worst, but also for the best. I would say in 7th grade, I started taking YouTube a lot more seriously, and I was uploading once a week, and I was actually making videos that were starting to blow up in a way, considering like the rest of my videos were getting like 100 views max. I think in December of 7th grade, I uploaded my What I Got for Christmas video 2017, and that is the video that jump-started my career on YouTube. That is the video that took my channel from like a dumb ass like joke to like actually something that could be really cool, if that makes sense. Okay, my bad. I had to take a little break because my camera that I'm recording this visually on just died. Super unfortunate. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. We are going to get better. We are going to improve. This isn't always going to be the case, okay? Hopefully, this is the only time that my camera ever dies mid-episode. But basically, what I was saying is after that first video took off, I felt amazing and I got this like newfound motivation and like drive to actually take YouTube very seriously. After that one Christmas video blew up, nothing else really blew up until the summer before my freshman year, I would say. That's when I was in like my VSCO phase, honestly the peak of my channel. That is when I was getting the most views. You know, we had the end of 8th grade breaking dress code video. We had the guy friends picking out my outfits. We had asking boys questions. We had so many hits this summer going into freshman year. Scrunchies, pick out my outfits for a week. Almost forgot about that gem. I don't know. Basically, that was the peak of my YouTube channel, and I look back on that all the time, and I was like, how was that the time that people were most interested in me? It still blows my mind, but with that being said, I still appreciate that. I appreciate that so freaking much because honestly, my little freshman year self was grinding so hard, setting me up for this amazing thing that I'm still able to do. Going away from the actual content that I was making at that time, I want to go more into what I said when I said, you know, in middle school, things took a turn for the worst. And by that, I don't mean my content. I don't mean anything like that. I mean bullying. I mean shit talking. I mean just like people being so freaking rude for no reason. I will say like I've been very blessed. I never really got heavily bullied or like anything. Obviously there's been some things that have happened that have like hurt my feelings over the years, but for the most part everybody has been very like sweet and kind and supportive. And if they aren't sweet and kind and supportive, they kind of just keep it to themselves, which I've appreciated. With that being said though, there was definitely a time where my videos, you know, first started taking off and they were doing like actual numbers, and some of the older kids definitely didn't fuck with me for some reason because of that. I think looking at it from my perspective now, they just saw it as this like little kid like trying to do something and just like looking kind of stupid while doing it. Because I'm not gonna lie, like yeah, those old videos of me are embarrassing. They were cringy. They were not great. You know what I mean? If I were in their shoes, I probably would think the same things that they were saying, but I wouldn't say them to my face or say them so that I could hear it. Like that's fucked up because I was literally like a little baby, like in 7th grade, 8th grade, like that's crazy. Anyways, 7th grade, I remember walking into the library one day, and this was like a few weeks after my What I Got for Christmas video blew up, and I had like 10K subscribers maybe or something like that. I was feeling on top of the world. You know, I was feeling like I made it. I was ready to move to LA. No, I'm kidding. But like I felt like I had accomplished something and I was really proud of it. And I walk into the library one day and there's like a group of 8th graders. I was in 7th grade at the time. There was a group of 8th graders that I kind of knew and like kind of disliked. And they were all talking at a table in the library, and they were just like audibly, I don't know, they were talking shit about me, and I was literally like 10 feet away, and they were yelling. Not yelling, but they were talking loud in the library. So the library's damn near silent, and they were just talking talking out loud voice, just talking shit about little Miss Me, and I literally wanted to drop in a hole and cry and die and pass away and start decomposing. Like that put me in my grave. I'm not even gonna lie, that hurt because that was the first time I ever experienced somebody like making fun of it to my face. Like I've heard of people making fun of it behind my back, you know, that's fine. People can talk their shit. But at this point in my life, I had never had somebody talk shit to my face, or at least like where I could hear it. And I felt so bad. Like I wish I could go back and give me a hug in 7th grade standing in that library. Like I wish I could, because that one hurt a little bit, but I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of saying that they hurt me. So fuck you guys. No. Anyways, there was other little comments. I would constantly hear like whispering in the hallways and little comments and stuff like that, but it never really affected me too much. But that library story really stuck with me. That's pretty much the extent of like the bullying and stuff that I experienced in middle school. It really was not severe or like significant at all. Like I'm very grateful. It could have been way worse than it was. But I will say that the staff members at that school, specifically my principal, wanted to rip me a new asshole. They were constantly on my ass. I'm not even kidding. I got in trouble so many times. I almost got suspended. I don't even know what they were going to do to me. Detentions, like they hated me because I was filming at school and then uploading it and getting like a lot of views in 8th grade. I remember I posted my guy friends pick out my outfits for a week, and I was filming at school like pretty much that whole video, and I got in trouble very shortly after I uploaded it because it started blowing up right away. I think that video has like crazy views now, maybe like I don't even know how many. It's got 2.5 million views now. So I uploaded that, and obviously it didn't have 2.5 right away. Like that has slowly grown over time, but I uploaded that video. I got in trouble for it. They told me to take it down. I said, no, I'm not taking this video down. And then I kind of just like tiptoed the rest of the school year, and I didn't really film anything else until my last week of 8th grade. You know, I was about to graduate middle school. I was about to move on to bigger, better things at the high school. I was about to be a big girl. I was about to be a real teenager, a big fucking bitch. My whole thought process going into this was, if I film and upload any other YouTube videos, I'm probably going to get suspended in middle school. I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble. So I'm not going to film anymore at school. After my guy friends pick out my outfits video, I was done until that last week of school, because I figured, you know, I can't get in trouble if I upload this after I graduate from middle school, correct? So I filmed the last week of school, me breaking my dress code video, which is kind of up now that I think about it, because I wasn't only filming at school, but I was deliberately breaking the school's rules in a video online. Like, it is kind of fucked up. But anyways, that video is to date my most viewed video, and I can tell my principal gladly to this day to okay, wait, no, I don't want to be disrespectful, because I understand, like, my principal was just trying to enforce the rules. Like, he wasn't trying to be a prick. He was just doing his job. You know what I mean? Like, it is his job to enforce those type of, like, rules and stuff. But no, I waited until the day after I graduated 8th grade to upload that YouTube video, and I honestly felt so empowered because of it. So thank you to my principal. Thank you to middle school. That was the worst time of my life. You know, moving into high school, nothing significant really happened besides the fact that I just started taking social media as like a full-time job, and I started taking it very seriously, and it's pretty much all that I've cared about for the last 4 years. But basically, I got in trouble a few times freshman year for filming. That's why I couldn't really vlog at school my entire high school experience. I got in trouble right away freshman year. I think I filmed like 2 or 3 videos freshman year, and I got in trouble after like the 3rd one I posted, and he was like, here's just what's got to happen. You've got to stop doing this. I don't want to see it. I don't want to have to suspend you. I don't want to have to get you in trouble. So I just respected that, because I understand. I mean, it's a stupid rule because everybody is constantly posting on like Snapchat and like filming other kids and stuff, but I don't know, it was just the rule. I couldn't film at school, so I didn't. But I never took those videos down. I didn't. No, I definitely didn't. I feel like I'm already all over the place and I don't even remember what I've already said, but I mean, honestly, nothing really significant to talk about in terms of like YouTube in high school. There was one story from my freshman year that I think I've told a couple different times, and I know I told it on Sadie Crowell's podcast about a football game. I went to one of my first ever high school football games as a freshman in high school, and I got bullied, you know, I heard whispering, I heard people talking about me, like the seniors, like, you know how like freshmen stand at like the top of the student section and then like the seniors are at the bottom. I heard like people talking about me while I was walking up the bleachers. I heard just like, this was kind of constant when I was a freshman. I would just be walking in the halls or walking basically anywhere and I'd hear people like whispering about me or like pointing at me and laughing and stuff like that. But it really like didn't bother me. I didn't really care. Especially like after freshman year when I was like not the little like baby of the school and very like timid and stuff. Once I was like a sophomore, nothing bothered me at all. But freshman year, it kind of affected me a little bit. But I was at this football game, people were talking shit. And then literally mid-game, you know how like seniors will have like a whiteboard and they'll write like the cheers or like different things like what we're going to chant and shit like that. They had a whiteboard and they like wrote some shit about me being a YouTuber on it and like held it up for the whole student section to see, and like everybody started fucking laughing and I literally wanted to jump off the top of the fucking bleachers and die. Like that's how it made me feel. But looking back on it, it was kind of funny. And like the seniors that were like a part of that and did that, they've all since like texted me and like apologized and said like that really wasn't cool, which like I appreciate because I feel like I'm like friends with like the girl that like did it. I think like held it up. Like I think we're like friends now. I don't even remember who it was, actually. I think it was this one girl. Anyways, I don't know. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about regarding like YouTube and stuff. I just kind of wanted to talk about like elementary school, middle school, high school, and now that I'm here, like how I got here basically. But moving on, I just kind of want to wrap this up by saying that I am so excited once again to be able to share my life more like in depth on here. There's so much that I've been keeping from you, to be honest, like from over the years. Like there is so much that you guys don't know that I cannot wait to share. I'm also going to be traveling a ton and hopefully experiencing so many cool, fun things that I'll be able to talk about and share with you guys on here. So that's really exciting. Obviously, like you probably know at this point, especially if you're watching this podcast visually right now, this podcast is visual on YouTube at Things Could Be Worse. And most of the episodes will all be visual and all be filmed in this little studio setup that I have here. However, like I just said, I'm going to be traveling a lot and there might be a few episodes where I couldn't pre-film it at home and I need to bring a microphone with me and film it wherever I happen to be. So if that happens, don't mind it too much because it'll probably go back to normal, but I just wanted to say that. I don't know why. Going with traveling, all of my friends are going to be attending college in the fall and I will definitely be visiting them. So even though I'm not directly going to college my freshman year, I will definitely have college story times, college partying, college everything to talk about because I will be at multiple colleges, hopefully visiting my friends, at least during like the first semester. Like I'm so excited for that phase. And then also finding a place to live. I wrote this down on my little script here. I don't know it like exactly if I plan on moving or when I plan on moving or where I want to move to, but all of this traveling that I'm doing, I keep telling myself that my sole purpose for all this traveling is to find an ideal place to get an apartment because I definitely want to move out. Obviously not super soon, like not within the next year at least, but like I want to find a place to live and I want to find the perfect place to live. So that's kind of my goal with all this traveling that I'm going to be doing. I don't know, you guys, that's pretty much it for this first episode. I promise you that the other episodes are not going to be like this. They're going to be like actually juicy and fun and interesting. But I just felt like I needed to explain myself in case you had no idea like what I'm doing on here. But I hope you guys are excited as I am. I cannot wait to share everything with you and be able to connect on a very like personal level that I haven't been able to really get to on my other platforms yet. I did make an Instagram and a TikTok for this podcast. It's at Things Could Be Worse Pod. Things Could Be Worse was taken, so I had to make it Things Could Be Worse Pod. But definitely go over and give those a follow so that I can give sneak peeks of upcoming episodes. I'll be sharing different pictures from the stories I tell on here and also just like create a little community for us to share advice and chit chit chat constantly. I don't know. I just think it would be fun if we can like grow a little community on those little social media platforms. I'm going to wrap this little baby up. But again, this podcast is available on Apple Podcasts. Jesus, I cannot speak. Spotify, YouTube, you know the drill. You know the drill. I love you guys so much. Thanks for listening to my first episode, and I will see you next week for the first real episode where we dive into some juicy content, some juicy things. You know what I mean? All right. Subscribe, follow. I don't even know what you do for a podcast. I think it's follow. Follow the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube, follow the social media accounts. Rate the pod. I hear people with podcasts say that all the time. Rate the pod, okay? Rate the pod. We need 5 stars across the board. We need this to blow up. No, I'm kidding. Okay, put me on the charts. Get me on the charts. I want to be on the charts. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.